There is a fear. For human survival, we fear that we won't have enough resources to survive. It's a normal instinct to ensure adequate resources for survival. So if I woke up broke, basically meaning I didn't have the resources to survive, what would I do? Well, first, it's very similar to being attacked in war. You have to assess the damage and figure out where the attack is coming from. And if you woke up broke all of a sudden, you have to assess what's going on. What are the top reasons that people end up broke? Well, number one could be a major health problem. Medical bills are the number one cause of bankruptcy in America. If you become majorly disabled, you're probably going to have to go on disability, and you go into this level of poverty. So without getting into too much details with that, let's just say right there, if I woke up broke, assess the situation. Do you have a major health problem? That'd be number one. Number two is, do you have a self-induced problem? What does that mean? Gambling or too many risky investments can cause people to go broke. Another reason that would cause people to go broke is drug addiction, substance abuse. So you have to assess, why are you broke? Is it a major health problem? Is it a gambling problem? Is it a substance abuse problem? Those are probably the top three. What are some more common reasons people would wake up broke? Too many kids, a divorce. And I would say right there, that's probably top four. Major health problem, gambling problem, substance abuse problem, or a divorce with too many kids. All those, other than a major health problem caused by an accident, could be preventable, depending. Charles, great to see you. You did a great video today. Excellent video. Really enjoyed that. And so, assess the damage, because like any problem in life, you have to acknowledge where the damage is coming from and how do you correct it. Okay. You can't outthink your problems. You also have to put together a game plan. And that's what we're doing. We're structuring emotion. We're assessing why we're broke. Okay. And then we start to put together a game plan. Let's run through some of the reasons why we'd be broke. Number one is health problems. So number one is, if you have a health problem, okay, hopefully you have health insurance, where at least that will pay for a certain amount of medical bills. If you're very poor already before the health problems, you have Medicaid. If you're very old, if you're above 65, you have Medicare. That'll cover most of your medical expenses. If you're in the middle income area and you don't have health insurance, that's a major risk. And that's why it's the number one cause of bankruptcy in America. In other first world countries, the whole entire society has a level of universal health care. So if you fall in this area, and that's why it also is very important, I have it through my main job, is supplemental disability insurance. Okay. If, you only get 50, or I don't know what it is, 50%, 60% of your normal salary if you get disabled, you may want a supplemental disability insurance. Okay. Mitigate some of your risk. Okay. If you're self-employed, if you do DoorDash, if you're an independent contractor, these are things you need to consider. Not just health insurance, that's number one. Number two is supplemental disability, etc. Now, if you're living below your means, hopefully you can live on half your income if you had to. Because remember, if you're totally disabled, your life is probably going to be a different way. Now, if you're not totally disabled and you still have a driver's license, you're not totally disabled. Remember, a driver's license, you can make money. Why are we talking about this? Well, you got to put together a plan to get out of poverty if you can help it. If you can't help it, if you're totally subject to like bed bound, then all you can do is collect your insurances or get government assistance. See a social worker. And if you can help it, if you have some abilities left, if you have your health physically and mentally, the way to get out of broke once you assess why you're there is to work. Because if you don't work, your dreams don't work. And if you're able to work and you don't work, I mean, there's no way to get out of poverty. It's just a common, it's just equation. Okay. So what's another reason why you'd be broke? Well, what do we talk about? We had the health problems we just talked about. The other problem would be gambling. You got to mitigate risk. If you want to gamble, if you want to play some fantasy football, if you want to play some stocks, I understand risk. We all want to take some risk, and there's nothing wrong with that. But as an example, if you had $10,000 in a savings account, if you're only waging between 10 to 30% of your net worth or, your liquid assets, then that's acceptable, because even if you lost everything, you still have 70% of your assets liquid or able to sustain you. And that's the example we'll use. If you only had $10,000 to your name in a savings account, I wouldn't play around, I wouldn't gamble, I wouldn't do risky investments with more than 30%. Why? Because then if everything totally hits the crapper, you still have 70% of your money and you can not be broke. We're trying to prevent poverty when we can. There's always some disasters we cannot plan for, but wisdom will protect you. I reflected on this that was in the Proverbs that I really liked. It's throughout the Bible. Even though I'm not super religious anymore, still believe in some things I read in the Bible. And one thing I say that will protect you when in doubt, use wisdom. Wisdom is not just science. It is science. It's collecting data and studying it to make a more informed decision. That's wisdom. Well, that's science. But wisdom also has a level of evaluating empathy, emotion, compassion, and discernment. Okay. So wisdom is great because it's not just science and it's not just emotion. It's a good balance. When in doubt, let wisdom guide you. Wisdom will protect you. Laziness will cause you to suffer. Hanging with the wrong people will cause you to suffer. Lying to yourself will cause you to suffer. Wisdom will protect you. What's the other reason you can end up waking up broke? We talked about health. We talked about gambling, substance abuse, drugs, illegal drugs, prescription drugs, abuse of any of them. If you do not try to work on that problem, and it may be a problem you work on the rest of your life, you may have 320 days sober, and you may get complacent in your sobriety. The minute you do that, you're done. And don't feel bad about yourself and say, oh no, I don't want to start all over. Life is a one day at a time fight. You say, well, what's the sales pitch on even trying? Well, to get through each day with less suffering. Okay. Because like I know, that if you've ever been around or abused substance yourself, other than that one moment of high, your whole life is totally out of order. You're running around to get high or to get intoxicated or to abuse that prescription pill. And you formed unhealthy relationships because of it. You don't look good. You don't feel good. You're not hanging around with people that take care of themselves either. And the high may come, but it's gone in probably under a few minutes. So that means that 99% of your day is suffering just for one high. You need to reverse that algorithm. You need to have 99% of your day in discipline, okay? Because discipline is less suffering than regret. Never forget it. Never forget it. And the grace of God covers. Because I understand this isn't easy, but this is what we focus on. What's another reason you can end up waking up broke? Relationships, too many kids and a divorce. How can you prevent that? One is you can get a vasectomy. Okay. Two is you can get your tubes tied. Three is you can get a prenup. There should be no reason for people in a modern era to be men going their own way or anti-men going their own way. If you're smart, then get a prenup, get a vasectomy, get your tubes tied. And I do believe in abortion. Okay. And you should never, maybe you have one kid that's unexpected. You should never have multiple unless you're just totally out of control. In this day and era, So most of poverty, other than a major unforeseen health issue, which can happen to any of us, most of being broke is totally avoidable. And how do you get out of it if you have the ability physically and mentally? You show up and you get a budget, you live below your means, but you can't shop in Dollar Tree and get out of poverty. You got to create income, use your health, use your driver's license, use your abilities, and you got to make money with that, live below your means within that, and that's how you start to dig out. And then you'll once in a while you get a little lucky, because the harder you work, the more lucky you get. Twister, what's up? Happy Friday, everyone. Shout out to you. Shout out to Charles. Both of you on fire. Remember, sometimes life isn't convenient. We have to move around to find the Wi-Fi. We have to move around to find the best job. But remember, if your manager is upset at you, don't quit. Why? Because there's no way you go through a career and push forward as if every time someone's upset with you, you quit. You might as well sign up for poverty. And you say, well, that's why I want to be my own boss. I'm not mad at that. I've had my own companies. This is considered independent contractor. But like I tell you, then you're going to have customers you have to please. You think a customer's never going to be mad at you? You think you're never going to have a troll online, or you think you're never going to make a DoorDash delivery and get a negative rating? You think you're never going to do contracting work and someone's not going to be happy even if you do everything right? You think you're never going to have resistance? Well, I could tell you people who do think that, they roll over in their bed, they suffer greater. They suffer greater by fearing that pain than dealing with that pain. Never forget it. Wisdom will protect you. ESP, happy Friday. Happy Friday to you. ESP says this October 15th. Yeah, we're halfway through another month. I was thinking about, do I want to go to Florida today? I really want to try to get 2 more weeks out of New Jersey. Why? Again, maximize my time up here, because I don't plan to, unless there's emergency, be up here for another year. So I want to maximize the time with my mother. You only have so much time in life. I recognize that. And next week it'll start to be in the 60s, and then the last week, October, in the 50s. So I feel like, I got a little bit of the cold air just to experience it. Not that I want to, but, all those things considered. But let's listen to ESP. She goes, October 15th, it's the day where snowplows parking restrictions go into place. Well, in Alaska, yeah. Like, there is a slogan on the Florida license plate. It's called Endless Summer. In Alaska, they probably have a license plate that says Endless Winter. That's funny. Me and ESP live on the opposite sides of the United States. I live in the furthest southeast point of the United States of America. She lives in the upper northwest point. She's basically in Russia. Alaska's basically Russia. I'm basically in the Caribbean. What do two people in the opposite ends of the world have in common? Humanity. What's the difference between you and a Russian, you and Afghanistan, you and a Chinese person? Where you're born, what you were taught. Humanity is the same. The internet helps that, but there are differences in personality and people. But, mainly it's just where you grew up on the map. ESP, the winter parking restrictions won't be lifted until April 15th. Well, I'll tell you this. That is not the type of environment that I would thrive in. I could survive in it, and that's what we're talking about tonight. Like, a fear of waking up broke is you don't have the resources to survive. Now, in Alaska, it's a first world country. It's America, so they have heat. Okay. But, some people like Alaska. I saw that one thing on the TV channel like a year or so ago, like people buy like places in Alaska. They like living there. So everyone is different. And then she's laughing. Good. Laughter is good for the soul. You're right. We are as far as possible. So true. But we're connected in the spirit. You vibe with people you vibe with. You can't, while still being in the United States. It's amazing. The United States has 50 states, all under the federal government, all with a little bit of unique laws within their own state. Okay. And what I can tell you is, if you don't like the state you live in, I was born in New Jersey, then you move to another state. You have to plan it, you have to research it, but you also have to live urgently. I could have been complacent, I could have waited forever, but I could have rushed it. There's a balance. I never preach irresponsibility, but I never preach complacency, because I know the reality of life. If you're not urgent, you're going to wait till you're in your 60s and 70s, and then you're not going to have the health energy to do what you want to do. And then even if you do, what are you going to do on the beach in your 60s and 70s and in your 80s? What are you going to do? You're going to be living a vida loca? You're going to be walking around with a cane. You might as well do, come on. You might as well feed raccoons in Pennsylvania. So, what I can tell you is this, guys, you can change your life, especially in today's modern era with the internet and a lot more opportunities. You're not landlocked. And now soon we got SpaceX with the Starlink. They're going to have internet in the rural areas. You can live on probably almost anywhere. David Lopez, what's up, brother? Look at Ben Simmons. He is afraid just to shoot the ball. He is so scared to play in Philly. He is requesting a trade just because he cannot face the criticism. Yeah, I don't really watch sports anymore. As I got older, I just faded out. Basketball is my favorite sport. So yeah, I don't know the situation with him. I can't speak on that specifically. I can say Philly's a tough place to play, man. I went to a couple Philly games, watched the Philadelphia Phillies, the baseball team. And I remember I went very young and they were booing all the Met fans. I mean, it was crazy, like almost like getting in a fight. I was a young kid. I wasn't even I was like 10 years old and they were crazy. So Philly's a tough place to play. But every environment's not for everyone. So if I was Ben Simmons, would I care if someone didn't like that I want to trade? No. Why? Because he's an adult and he's working for a company that he doesn't like the environment. And the audience is part of the environment. So guys, look, one of the reasons I live below my means is because if I don't like the environment of my job, okay, I would always consider options to change, but I would secure another job first. I'm not a job hopper. I've been with the same company for over 10 years, and before that, very similar. So, you definitely got to put in the work. You definitely can't run every time you have resistance. But if there's a recurring problem and if it's not changed and you feel like, you're not thriving, you're not at peace, you're not on the same page with the environment you work in, then you secure another job before you leave. So Ben Simmons, remember, these professional athletes, they're not high school players, they're not college players. They are contractors. They are businessmen, businesswomen. And they have the right to, if they don't like a certain job environment, they have the right to change. Some people say, well, they're prima donnas. Look, they may make a couple million. I grew up with a kid who went to NBA. You may make a couple million, but that may be it for the rest of your life. Then you get cut, you get injured. Injury, health problems, number one cause of bankruptcy. You wake up broke. One day you're playing in the NBA. Next day you're cut. You blow all your money. Because if you got a lot of money in your 20s, like I did, you could lose all that easy. Then you wake up in your 30s, you're broke. Then what are you going to do? Work at Target? You may have to. A lot of pride there. Some people won't. Some people try to relive their glory. Never be scared to work. Why? Hey, work is your independence. Always be scared to put up a front. Why? A front is your prison. And if you got to be around, look, guys, sometimes at one point in my life, I went from driving a Jaguar to driving a hoopty. Did I care? Not too much, but I showed respect to the street code. I didn't drive around in a hoopty flossing. I kept the windows up, keep the music low. Okay. And you smuck around. When you're driving a big dog whip, you're the big dog. But at this point, as you get older, you want to fly under the radar. You don't want to be, at least I do. You don't want to be like, to me, that's just immaturity anyway. And there's a time and place for that. You're driving a Dodge Charger. I never did that. I was more in electric. You're fucking revving your engine. I mean, you're young. That's fine. As you get middle-aged, guys, it's all about coasting, flying under the radar, peace. Right, Chef Sean, what's up, brother? Yo, we made it to another Friday. Never forget it. Another day in the books. A social scientist said, mentally, it's better to be in poverty than a toxic relationship. They're the same thing. Poverty is a toxic relationship. If you can help it. If you can't help it, then you should be on a government program. I know someone today, they got called by a social worker. They had an opportunity to get a subsidized house. So Look, if you can help it, and I always tell you guys, look, if you got a driver's license, you got some ability. If you know how to create an online profile, you got some ability. I recognize not everyone has the same ability. But I also recognize you can work the night shift at Planet Fitness. You can work the night shift security job, and it takes very little talent and effort, bottom line. And for those unwilling to work, they will suffer. They will have too much time on their hands, not enough money in their pocket. They'll mind fuck life. They'll talk about cognitive rewiring. They'll take naps. They'll troll online, and their toxic mind will destroy them from within because they know they can do better than that, but they don't want to try. Now, again, I definitely say that if you're in a toxic relationship, no money is worth that. Cut off an inheritance. I cut off an inheritance. But like everything in life, before you quit your job, before you get out of a situation, you have to put some thought and some planning. You don't want to do things recklessly, over emotionally, but you don't want to wait until that person dies until you move on with your life. You want to find balance. Not easy. I recognize that. That's what we're talking about. Let wisdom guide you. Wisdom will protect you. Click that thumbs up. Share the video. You know what it is. If you've ever worked a night shift, click that thumbs up. I have. If you've ever worked the gig economy, click that thumbs up. I have. Except 90% of deliveries. Anyone on the DoorDash app or Uber Instacart, but DoorDash I'm talking about now, if you don't accept 90% of deliveries, you want to be broke. Because you're on the platform to get the very best orders. You won't do anything that brings you discomfort, and you might as well buy a storage unit and go see a social worker. Because you can't hit the accept. There's a mental barrier. I want to destroy that barrier if you can help it. Thank you. So tonight, if I woke up broke, I would assess the situation. Okay, wouldn't be happy about it, but I wouldn't want to just drown in it. Okay. Assess the situation. Do you have a major health problem? Do you have a substance abuse problem? Do you have a gambling problem? Are you risking too much in investments? You got to mitigate risk. Do you have a relationship problem where you need to get a divorce because it is toxic, to Roger Schoen's point, and you're going to take a financial loss? Then you need to assess that situation. Go see a lawyer, go work up the numbers online. They have different calculators online, like how much you would pay in child support, etc. And then, pick up a side job. Do what you need to do. Cut some expenses. Look, after you've assessed and after you've put a game plan in, part of the game plan is increase your income within your abilities as much as you can. Decrease your expenses as much as you can within reason. Live below your means, and over time you get ahead, and then you'll get lucky because the harder you work, the luckier you get. This is wisdom. Paco, we're heading to Arizona, but I don't know if he'll stay longer. He hates Arizona, and like I say, it'll be the end of your relationship, probably. But, you'll have to decide that because I don't live with you, and I don't know your situation 100%. But like I tell you, I know people who moved to Florida. Their spouse never wanted to go, and their spouse basically made them come back up to New Jersey. But they loved each other. They figured it out. For them, I don't know. But for me, like I tell you, there's a lot of, well, not a lot of sorrow, but sometimes people are scared to live alone, scared to be alone. What they don't realize is when you're not in a relationship and when you don't have a dog, you have so much luxury. So I don't know why people want to rush into another relationship, rush to get another service dog. All you're doing is putting more burden on yourself. And it's going to destroy you physically, mentally, emotionally. Pedro, tapping in. What's up, brother? Restarting from the beginning. You got this, one day at a time. You showed up today. It's better than not showing up. And you got through another day, whether you're rich or broke. We all got through the day, same hour, same time, same thing. Once you learn to not live with much and not care about much, look, really for me, you know what luxury is for me at this point? To have good weather, to have, good, healthy food, the food I like, and to do a little bit of risk with investments, very little, mitigate risk, and to have a good savings account. Eventually, it's going to be to have some stability with a home base. But for 5 years, I've lived out of one bag out of my car. I own nothing. And one thing about that that's liberating is, guys, I figured out what makes me happy in life. And it's not a lot of material things. It's good weather. It's building up savings. It's having a little bit of money to play with, to have a little fun in investments. And it's working side hustles that I have a passion about to build a sustainable long-term way of not going to poverty. And so keep grinding it. And never, if anyone wants to hate on you, let them hate. Why? Because wisdom will guide you. Haters will hate on you. Haters are broke. I don't know any successful person that's a hater. All the haters I know, they want you to pay all the attention to them, say exactly what they want to hear. Have you ever seen an unemployed person go to a restaurant? They expect the best customer service, the best food. If an unemployed person doesn't get good customer service, they go crazy. Unemployed people sue. Unemployed people complain to the manager, but they can never work. Critics criticize nomads. They stay in their shared apartment until they die on low Social Security. Critics suck big cock. But really, no one cares. Why? Because they ain't got nothing going on. Okay. So forgive my passion. Forgive my intensity. But when you see someone who isn't doing anything with their life complaining about people who are doing something, it is such hypocrisy. Okay. But get used to hypocrisy. Because it's part of life, and all of us have a little bit, but you know what I'm talking about. There's some people totally out there delusional. And so what do I say to them? I don't say much. I have boundaries. That's also what I found that gives me great joy. And when you live below your means, you don't have to live with everyone. You don't have to be friends with everyone. I respect everyone in public. I'll work with anyone as long as there's decency. Okay. I have no problem figuring out problems together, working together with people. This is as loud, as boisterous as I am all day. Why? Because everyone who knows me testifies to this, okay? That for me, guys, I don't run around arguing. I don't run around causing problems, okay? And I've learned as a middle-aged man, if I have to yell, if I have to fight, I'm in the wrong environment. Again, this is an intense video. My videos are intense. This is a level of entertainment. You know, it's a level of, you're hearing a sermon / WWF wrestling thing / music. So you hear all this thing, but you have to understand it's just a mindset. Okay. I can't watch someone that they're just like blah, 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 blah. Okay. But that's just me. Paco, eating pot roast with vegetables tonight. Well, it's getting cold. You had a greasy soup come out. Okay, people are going to start to put on that winter weight. Okay. You ever had an ugly person judge you on YouTube? I have. And what I want to tell you is please. There ain't no beautiful people going to say nothing nasty about your looks. Okay. All ugly people, way uglier than you, want to comment on your looks. And what do I say? I don't say shit. Because if I woke up broke or if I woke up rich, I wouldn't want them either way. Why? They butt ugly. Never forget it. So, the message tonight is that of wisdom, okay, to guide us in times of trouble. Now, do we know how we'll react in times of trouble? Guys, there's no guarantee in how any of us react. But it's good to give some thought into where we're at, how to get out of situations, okay, and how to push forward in life and showing up. And we got through another day. We got through another live feed. Let's take a hydration break. Leave a comment right now. Let's do it. Algorithm of success. Okay. What do people want? People want someone to talk to. Okay. Even the most toxic person wants someone to talk to. Why? Because they can't stand to be by themselves. The most peaceful people in the world could be by themselves. The toxic person is the most spiteful. Why? Because so many people have left their life and you're going to be another one. Why? Because they don't want to work on themselves. I watch Early Riser. Yeah. I've had plenty of people comment on me being bald. Yeah, you ever have an ugly chick with a wig talking about you bald and short? Yeah, I want to tell you tonight. Don't even worry about it. And it's mostly people out of shape. Yep, unhappy, etc. Yeah, it's an unemployed person complaining about the waiter. Yeah, that's what it is. Hey guys, look, we live in a world where it has enough critics. Okay. So if you want to be a critic, you're just one of many. One of many. You want to actually create something with your life and be consistent, then you're going to have to face many critics. But it's part of the game. In this world, you don't like the game, you can change. Like David was saying with Ben Simmons, you can change the game. There's a lot of things you can do in this world, guys. Lay low key. You always got to deal with some resistance, though, but you can be low key. But there's nothing you do in this world. I remember there was a time I was thinking about getting out of the corporate life. The biggest mistake of the nomad is they leave their corporate job to live basically in poverty. Total mistake. Corporate life, guys, make that fucking money. So I remember there was one point in my life, though, I was like, man, corporate stress, so I was still working my way up. And I was like, it'd be a lot easier to work at Lowe's or work at, Wawa or something. Just work a basic job. And then one day I saw someone, working behind a counter at the gas station. And they were getting shit from their manager. And I said to myself, well, if you're always going to have some problems with your manager or with work, get the most you can make. Because I want to tell you this. When you're making the most you can make and you got a little disagreement with your manager, it feels good to know you're making worth it. But when you keep job hopping, you keep quitting because you can't take any resistance, you're going to be working at the lower level your entire life. I saw a guy the other day, I was walking, and they were doing construction outside. And, it was a bunch of younger guys. They had their music on. They were working, but they were doing things a little bit out of order. And the foreman came in his big pickup. I can't tell you how many people have pickup trucks. They don't need that much capacity. It's a lot of waste. But he came in his pickup truck. And he started, hollering at the guys. And I know I worked for a couple of abusive foremen when I worked construction. I know the industry, depending on it, they're like, no, get this, don't do that. Why are you over there? And I said to myself, man, I'm glad I dealt with that when I was young, didn't give up, and got the fuck out of that. Because that's just a little bit, not to say every job is like that and every foreman's like that, but that's a little bit of the nature of that beast. Okay. I want to tell you, if you have the ability, don't stay at the low level. Why? Because, guys, shit runs downhill. Okay. Shit runs downhill like a motherfucker. Okay. And no matter what, guys, life is a dookie stain. No matter how much you wipe your ass, there's always a dookie stain. There's always a period stain. No matter how good you put your tampon in. No matter how much you make sure you don't spill your coffee. ESP's got like 5 fucking different type of mugs and shit. No matter how nice you always gonna spill something. Life is a spaghetti stain on your shirt. Good to see you, Tony Twisted. So if you know that no matter what, there's some dookie out there with your name on it, make sure there's a direct deposit with your name on it. And make sure it's the biggest direct deposit you can get. And the more big direct deposits you get, then once you've saved a certain amount and you've got other hustles, you got a lot of options. You don't have to always make the biggest bag, but there's a season of your life you got to get to go for that bag and then reallocate. As you get older, guys, in your young life, you take the hits. 20s, 30s, build your career. 40s, 50s, maximize revenue. And then late 50s, 60s, guys, you downshifting. But find out where you want to live and live there immediately. Why? Because even if you do everything right and you're downshifting in your 60s, 70s, and 80s, if you're just getting to the beach in your 60s, 70s, and 80s, guys, I don't care how good the bag is. Your skin is fucking saggy. Your knees are shot. You got a bad hip. So, I got to push you in one of those big, beach handicap things, with the big ass tires because the sand's soft. Don't let that be you. In today's world, 2020, we're almost at 2022 with technology, with the gig economy, with so many corporate jobs, so many transfers, so much opportunity. But remember, it doesn't happen if you don't go after it. I remember going after transfers, and I remember a couple people laughing. And I said, look, if I don't go after it, it ain't going to happen. And it sounds good, but after a couple failures, people just laugh. But persistence beats resistance. The harder you work, the luckier you get. And along the way, while you wait, you say, "What? I want to do what you have. What do I do while I wait?" Well, while you wait, you sell, you pick up side hustles, so that when the opportunity comes, you're fully liquid. You already got side hustles building up, and it's a lot easier. What do you do while you wait? Get rid of your shit and pick up a side hustle. And if you don't want to do that, you'll be waiting your entire life on someone else. Never forget it. Click that thumbs up. We're in the algorithm of success. All right, we're going back to these live comments. Shout out to my members out here. You're on fire. Twister. Nothing new under the sun. You know what it is. Nas had a good song on a Lost mixtape album with that. Hits me so hard sometimes. Sometimes I wonder, will I keep from going under? Nas also had a good song on a mixtape with that. To think all the billions of people living so many different lives. Don't mind fuck life. Don't take on all the sorrow of the world. Sade had a song about that. She's the king of sorrow. And what I can tell you, Sade ended up getting a divorce. Her daughter ended up being transgender. And there's only so much you can do. You can sing like Sade, but you can't save everyone. So focus on yourself. That's how you make the world a better place. Not to mention the past generations. I wouldn't want to live them. Your words on the negative people are straight fire. You know what it is, Twister. You better get your ass out of Dunkin' Donuts as soon as you can. Why? Because you are called to move forward. Not that you're better than anyone in Dunkin' Donuts, but never let your report card says has potential but doesn't live up to it. Because I had a couple of those, and a lot of people live their entire life like that. I started to live up to my potential. A lot of people, their potential is lost in an extra large Dunkin' Donuts. Yep. Tony, just tuning in. Well, you tuning in at the right time, because all the lazy psychopaths just got a straight fire down their throat. And once I said they were living below their potential, they agreed. So they clicked the thumbs down. Never forget it. And then they got rid of it because they're the psychopaths like to see me get upset. They stalk me. They like to see me get wild, just like their father. But you know what I do, brother? I know who I'm dealing with, the mentally ill. And how do you deal with the mentally ill? You don't. You let social workers deal with them. Why? Because remember, when you're a corrections officer, you got to have the same mindset as the inmate. And remember, when you're a social worker, you go home, you don't. Remember, psychiatrists never invite their patient to their house. You're in my house right now, so I kick you out. A therapist never says, come live with me. They may give you a bunch of talk. They may give you a blue wrench. Okay, but they'll never live with you. Why? No one wants to live with you. Okay. Get your bag right. Okay. Because a blue wrench don't mean shit. A blue wrench means you got a lazy creator that's got to pander to the masses because they're scared to do any other job than YouTube, okay? So they got to give you a blue wrench, okay? And you got to talk about nothing for an hour, 3 hours, 4 hours. And you eat it up. Why? Because people just want someone to talk to. But I'll tell you this, guys. I got enough on my plate, okay? You got to go see someone else for that. Back to these live comments. If I miss a comment, please forgive me. Tap it again. Twister's on it, killing it. Tony, thank you again. David, Wet Wipes. Yeah, Cameron had a song about that. Tony, life is just a dookie stain on your underwear. You're damn right. Psalms 18:4. It may be. I don't know, but I know Psalms 27? Yea, though I walk through the shadow of death, I shall fear no evil. I shall fear no psychopath. Why? Because even though my enemy comes to kill and destroy me, bottom line is you can live in a cave. They're going to still come and kill and destroy you. Why? Life Guys, you can't hide from life. Now, you shouldn't take unnecessary risks and end up broke. You shouldn't, as you get older, you shouldn't spend time in bad neighborhoods and bad clubs and bad environments and a strip club, etc. Why? Because that's too much risk. Okay. When you're young, you take excessive risk. But many people don't get past 25. If you get past 25, you can't live like you were living under 25. Okay. That's right. So, ESP, yeah, I've got too many. I'm getting rid of some mugs. You get rid of those things. Throw them out. 90% of what people own, they don't use. Not enough room in the van. You damn right, ESP. Lighten that load. Good job. ESP, you got the Airbnb reserved? I was thinking about you. Adam, what's up, brother? Praying for you today. Adam was in the hospital last night. Hopefully you're feeling better. Good evening, Sam. I'm here. Thank God you showed up, man. I love you. Thank God you're right. You're a fighter, man. Adam, I don't know how, brother, but the grace of God is on your life because you're a fighter. You still show up. And till this day, I don't think I've heard one negative comment from you. And I've been a little rough at times. So, brother, like I always tell you, I don't want you to become like, Jim Carrey, me, myself, Irene. But God bless you for your positive attitude. ESP, I hope you're doing better, Adam. Amen. Me too, Adam. Thanks, ESP. Made it through Friday. There you go. I'm ready for the weekend. Here it comes. Going to do some bushcraft. There you go. Twist that. Some people's potential is lost in the extra large Dunkin' Donuts. You know what it is. And the rest of people's potential is lost in the relationship. It's lost in smoking behind the Dunkin' Donuts dumpsters. It's lost at the Motel 6 behind the Dunkin' Donuts. I've been there. I want to tell you tonight, if you're house shopping and there's a Dunkin' Donuts within 5 minutes of your house, but there's not a Starbucks within an hour, you got to be very careful on where you live. You say, well, I found a cheap house. Yeah, well, I hope you have enough money to live there the rest of your life because there's also not a lot of jobs. And I'm not mad at that. I've looked at some home bases like that, but you know what I mean. There's some people, they get a cheap house, they watch Law and Order, and they just die there. They never leave their house. Am I mad at them? No, if that's what they want to do what you want. I got to share what I got to share. Would I ever buy a house 5 minutes from Dunkin' Donuts with no Starbucks around? I got to be at least within 45 minutes of a Starbucks. I would consider it, but it's something I really have to consider. Back to these live comments. I replaced the strip club with the gym. There you go. Asset allocation. Good job. And your live feeds, David. Yeah, I don't toot my own horn. But if it's in between going to the strip club versus going to the gym then watching me, you're spending your time very wisely. Good job. Twist up. Praise God, Adam. Amen, says the Yacht Club. ESP. Funny you asked. I just looked at a studio apartment. I'm considering doing a 3 to 4 month lease. Okay. How much they getting for Alaska for a studio apartment for 3 to 4 months in the winter? If I do, it will be in November, though. Okay, yeah, you could probably make it through 2 more weeks. Yeah, I looked at a rental because I said, man, if I don't buy a home base, I got 2 home bases I'm looking at. One's a little bit countryside, 50K RV lot. One's beachside, 180K. I also looked at rentals today. Rentals, beachside, obviously they didn't go as high, but I'm talking about like what I could get beachside that I would deal with. Obviously 2,000 be very nice place, but I saw a couple $1,300 a month. I could get a little studio thing 10 minutes from the beach for about $1,000 a month. So, that's probably what those are different options. Will I rent? I don't know, man. For me, like I said, either to me it's kind of home base or stay as a nomad, especially in Florida in the winter, but we'll see. Back to these live comments. Tony, what's up, man? Sam's hitting them out the park. You know what it is? With the Dunkin' Donuts references. Tony, we must give the parables that the people understand. They asked Jesus, why do you speak in parables? A parable is a story with a message in it. He said to hide the messages from the psychopaths. Well, I didn't say psychopaths, but he basically said to hide the wisdom of God from those who don't want to seek. So why do I do Dunkin' Donut references? Because for every hypocrite that sells a car to a poor person and then says, I look down on people, I say, well, hey, look, we all capitalists in this bitch. Okay. And I don't look down on anyone. Okay. If I don't like Dunkin' Donuts, I have a right to say I don't like Dunkin' Donuts. If I think people with OCD should not date, that's my opinion. And no one has the right, okay, to put their insecurities on you. I respect everyone. If they have a disability, if they work at a car lot, or if they work at Dunkin' Donuts. I preach that. I live that. But I also have the right to have my opinions and have some fun. Because I'll tell you this. I don't want to fight my inner circle. I got enough issues during the day. Like I always tell you guys, you know the worst people in life? They go through stuff during the day. They're willing to work. They're willing to do whatever. But then they come home to a nightmare. They don't come home to a sanctuary. They come home to Satan. I told you, don't dance with the devil. So I don't dance with the devil in a live chat, in my real life, because I know that you got to deal with stress at your job, in life, dealing with the public. And I do it in a diplomatic, loving way because I believe in that. But in my own personal time, I believe that I could just do me in my car, on my own channel, in my own way. Okay. And some people don't understand that. They think like, oh, if you're doing this on channel, like, you know, that's what you really think. Guys, my actions are what I really think. Okay. And my actions are that of an upright person. Okay. I'm not perfect, but what I'm trying to tell you, and my live feeds and my videos are an intense mindset to get where you need to get. Or at least I do, and have fun the way you want to have fun. And if someone don't like that, if someone's spying on me, and if someone is treating other people badly, but then acting like my videos are making me bad, I see right through that. How dare you? And that's why I tell you, you got to live below your means, man. Because in order to use your gifts in this world, you gotta live below your means, man. Don't mean you gotta live in poverty. Don't mean you gotta live in a car. It means you gotta have a couple ways to make income, and you gotta have enough people that you've worked with that says, nah, this person may not like this about, but they treat people right. They do the job. Okay. Because I still believe that the majority of people that deal with you, they'll testify about you. They'll give you a reference. There's always going to be a couple people that want to tear you down, but they're going to end up fucking themselves. Okay. Because I've seen it. Okay. And I've seen it. Okay. And I lived through it. Okay. And so I tell you, be very careful out there how you're moving in real life. And how you're treating people, how you're talking to people. In real life. Online, guys, when you're online, and I understand, I've been on both sides, but when you're in someone else's creative space, I understand the perspective of the viewer, because I'm the viewer of other channels, and I've been hurt like you've been hurt. That you feel like you're just sharing, and you feel like you didn't get the answer the way you want, how you want it. And I empathize with you. But now as a creator, like I say, you got to be an employer and employee. When you're painting, when you're talking, and when you're doing your thing, look, you got to remember, like that person outside the pin. Now, there's stuff I don't like, but I just don't watch anymore. I used to, I'm going to make the night. I just don't watch. Because they're doing what they do. That's how they paint. That's how they do this. That's how they do that. In real life, like I said, I'm mainly by myself. Back to these live comments. Twister. Oh, yeah, I read that. David R. Oh, yeah, I read that. Twister. Praise God, Adam. Amen. ESP. Funny you asked. I read that. Tony. Yeah, I read that. Early riser. I got a bad grade once when I was little. Me too. In grade school. Under the uses time wisely category. Really? Asked teacher what does that mean, and she explained how to use my time more wisely. Okay. I always remember that. Yeah, that's interesting. I never heard of that. Thank you for sharing. And it's awesome, again, that you have the tag name Early Riser because you've learned how to manage your time. So thumbs up to you for improving your life. Improvement is the ultimate religion. If your life's not, well, again, the grace of God, love covers a multitude of sin. I agree with that. But if you can, work on improving yourself. Never forget it. Adam, Twista, hope you had a good day, my son. My son was going with me tomorrow to bushcraft, but he had to change his plans. Yeah, as the kids get older, they want to do their own thing. We've all been there. I know I have. Trying to think of what I can actually do instead of being at the bushcraft camp all the time. People are probably getting tired of seeing that. Well, like I said, Adam, you got to do what you need to do for yourself because you got a lot of stress at the job. Your YouTube channel at this point is mainly just a hobby. It's not a business. So who gives a fuck what they want to see? Now, look, even though my YouTube channel is now a business, I pretty much, for the most part, kind of do it how I want to do it. But I do push myself. What do people want to see? They want to see RV reviews. They want to see videos of places. They want to hear things, stories that you have. So, all right, let's take you as an example. If I was asked, what do I want to see from Adam's channel? I don't want to see a bushcraft video. I want to see you do a video about how it is to live with parents that have dementia. I want to see a video from you about how it is to deal with someone you broke up with 3 times. Now, do I recommend you make those videos? I did, but again, you'll probably make those videos and probably offend someone that you know, and you're not going to get paid for it, and then it'll destroy your mental health. So that's why YouTube, you got to be very careful. But YouTube is like the give and the take. If you're working it solely as a business, remember, most people don't want to, unless you really look good or you got a little niche, most people want to know things that will help them. However, there's only so much you can do that. And it's not going to get you a lot of money. So you want to try to blend what people want plus what you like. But ultimately, it depends how you're using YouTube. If it's just a hobby, do whatever you want. If it's a business, whatever. But if it's one of your 4 hustles, you have great creative liberty. But I've owned a few businesses. And not every business is for you. Even if you make money or even if you don't. I didn't keep every business I owned. I actually got rid of all of them. Why? Some of them didn't make money. Some of them made money, but I didn't like doing it. Some of them didn't make enough money compared to what I can make for working for someone privately. So you always have to evaluate, is it time to close up shop? Is it time to open up shop? Is it time to make a video, shut down your channel and just be a viewer? Is it time to put some extra effort into your channel? Or is it time to just take care of yourself? In my opinion, Adam, right now in your season of life, I wouldn't make any videos unless it helps you. I would focus all on self-care. When I was in my lowest points in life, I was not making videos. I made videos once I had my life stabilized and I was going in a certain direction. Because making videos and being a social media person is more risky and less rewarding. So you have to understand that risk-reward ratio. So you don't want to do that unless your life, you have a lot of stability in other areas. Because why would you just take on more risk? That's bad asset management. So, and you say, well, it's not costing me any money to have a YouTube channel. It's costing you your privacy. It's costing you your time. Your time is your money. Your privacy is peace. Guys, everything costs. We're breaking it down today. Click that thumbs up. You know what it is. No one's showing up without blue wrenches giving you this much fire. Okay. These people, they got a lot of hot air. They take 3 months off of YouTube. They didn't do much, and they come back with the same hypocrisy that everything should be free, that they're the only righteous one, that they're working out, no one else is. The complete hypocrites. Okay. They mock other people, and they took a 3-month hiatus, but they're the same person. You'll not speak to someone for 10 years, they're going to be the same person. I want to tell you, very few people change in this world. So be very careful in your personal life who you deal with. Uh, Adam also was saying, I read that. ESP. This particular apartment is $900 per month. Yeah, the cheapest one I found in a decent area, even in Florida, is around $1,000 a month. So that makes sense. That's the going rate. That's that's a lot. There's no real responsibility. There's no real liability. That's the fun part about renting. The bad part is, like, once the rent is over, it's like, it could be a good or bad. For a nomad, it could be good or bad. Twister. I feel like I understand the Dunkin' Donuts parables. You definitely get it, brother, because you're seeking wisdom. You're a superstar, man. You how other people on that fucking level. You're a fucking superstar, man. You're an elitist. And what I want to tell you tonight, why would you not want to go to an elite level? Okay. Why would you want to be living below your potential and be proud of it? Guys, there was a season of my life I was hanging around certain environments where you actually look better when you live below your potential because you're amongst the crowd. How much bad stuff can you do? Have you ever been part of a crowd that the person who is rewarded is the person who does more bad stuff? That's the wrong crowd. You have to get around the crowd and the environment that the more good things you do, you're rewarded. The bad people may call you an elitist or whatever, but fuck them, because they almost destroyed your life. Okay. Maybe not intentional, but you got to remember. So, hey guys, you got two options in life, man. You go forward or you go backwards. And there ain't no guarantees in life, guys. At any time you can slip and you can fall and shit can go crazy. You can wake up broke. But you can mitigate your risk. You can have wisdom that protects you. Wisdom that guides you. The grace of God that covers you. May no weapon formed against you prosper. And may you be able to live in this truth and face the deceivers. Because you can hide in your house, whether it's subsidized or whether you're paying for it. But have you ever lived a life long enough when you hide long enough? You realize feeling the resistance is less suffering than rolling over in your bed. But once you've rolled over in your bed so many times and you've gotten in such a hole with people and with yourself, it's hard to get up. You need a spark. You got the spark. Now you must keep your engine running. You must go forward. An engine is not made to run idly. It's made to put a demand on it. A sailboat is not made to be docked. It's made to sail. A human is not made to stay in bed all day. And until you get that, you're going to wake up broke. Let's take a hydration break. Twister was spilling those parables on a whole other level. You got it. They're accurate. It's scary. Yeah, that truth. Wake up the psychopaths. You're a smart guy, brother. You got it. Twister. Thank you, Adam Love. Adam. It started out as a hobby, but then I got into filming it, talking about his YouTube channel, and my channel started growing. How many subs you up to, brother? It's really not moving too well right now. Well, yeah, you stop making consistent videos. Number one rule of the YouTube game is you got to be consistent on your upload schedule. Why? Because YouTube rewards showing up, just like most employers. They put you in the algorithm of success. Doesn't mean your channel will grow, you make a lot of money, but it means your channel will consistently grow if you consistently upload. And again, if you're doing something relatively valuable. Okay. Entertainment, information, or inspiration. But then he's talking about YouTube channel. It started growing. It's really not moving to yet now, but it's because, yeah, I'm not consistent. You nailed it. Assessing the damage is number one step of getting out of being broke. Early riser. Yep, and you could be broke within your creativity. You say, I'm not creative anymore. Well, self-care creates creativity. Your creativity flows out of self-care. If you're walking, working out, and being productive, you're going to get more ideas. If you're rolling around and if you're overthinking life, you're going to get more depressed. Early riser. Yep, the fact that you go live every night is an incredible accomplishment. Thank God for the grace of God, and thank God for everything. I'm very appreciative, and I appreciate all you. Early riser is also saying, I am in full support, thank you, of what you're doing. Well, I appreciate you, early riser, and all my members and all the people that watch, and early riser and everyone else. If at some point I don't do it for you, you're under no obligation to me. I am not a real estate agent that pressures you. I'm not a salesman that gives you a free water and then tells you to go on a $500 per month payment on a car for 7 years. I'm not a contractor that tells you this is the best price you're going to get, so you might as well take mine. When I was a contractor, I said, look, this is my price. Feel free to shop it around. If you want to go somewhere else, go ahead. Why? Because I live below my means so that I don't have to pressure people. And I would tell you, if I was a salesman, I got no problem being a salesman. If I was a salesman, I'll tell you, look, this is how much this car cost. You're approved for it. Now, whether or not you want to do it, that's something you got to think about. If you want to think about it, here's my card when and if you're ready. If you're not, I understand. That's exactly how I do it. Just like I do with the memberships. Look, I'm putting in the time, I'm putting in the work. Okay? You want to watch for free? All my videos are free, do you? You want to support the channel? Thank you. You want to leave the channel? I understand. Nothing more real than that. Okay? So if someone don't like that guy, someone don't like me. I mean, because I don't know how much more like fair and honest you could be. You know what I mean? So, Adam, I have invested over $800 in equipment. I don't know what I would do with that equipment. Throw it out. If I stop doing my YouTube, throw it out. All you need is a phone to do YouTube. That's all I do. You say, well, I want to sell it on eBay. Throw it out. You say, I want to sell it on Facebook Marketplace. Throw it out. You say, I want to sell it on Craigslist. Throw it out. Hey, Adam, you know what people do when they don't throw stuff out they didn't use? They get a storage unit. You know what people that have a storage unit do? They go broke. They wake up broke. Never forget it. David, is editing something anyone can do when it comes to YouTube? Yes, I know a lot of people do it on, Cartoon Mark was saying it the other night. Juicy Jeff does it. They do it on like iPhone editor. I have a couple Android apps that will do it. Editing is not my big gift, but I do at times splice different clips together and fade them in and out. Editing is not my main gift, so I don't play to it too much. Communication, just a straight video on a RV review or place review or a talking head thing. But yeah, anyone can do editing on the phone. Pretty much 90% of your editing can be on the phone. Now, if you're going to a whole nother dimension and you're very artistic and you want to do it on a laptop and you got Adobe and shit like that, that's for some people. But most people could do everything right on their phone. Your phone is your greatest asset. Your phone is more powerful than most people's laptop. So, early riser. Yes, that's a good feeling that I can come and go to channel as I please. Damn it, early riser. That's where when I be thinking about buying a home base, I'll be like, man, if I rent, I rent like ESP. I rent for a couple months, I leave. If I get the 1,000 Trails Camping Pass, I go, and then I cancel my membership if I don't like it. So, but long term, I understand benefits of home ownership, but, I understand exactly what you're saying. I don't like commitment either, too much. Adam, editing videos is very difficult, especially if you don't know what you're doing. It's not everyone's gift. Play to your strengths. Twist it. Pawn chop. Adam Bushcraft. Yeah, you know what I say? 3 mil trash bag. Throw it out tomorrow. ESP. I use my iPhone. See, there you go. For everything. Shooting the video and editing. There you go. Remember, there's no editing software that will make you show up consistently. That's number one thing you need. When I played basketball, I had the wristbands. I liked wearing all the gear. Now, I gave good effort, but I was never a superstar. But, it's like you can wear all the wristbands, but it doesn't make you better. Even though in my mind, it made me a little better. But remember, you can have all the editing software. You got to show up if you want to hustle it. Never forget it. All right, guys and girls, I've been on here for an hour. I got less than 5% of left battery on my phone. Is that good? Well, I want to tell you this. When you use what you have, your time, your energy, your efforts, and you make the most of your life, you squeeze the toothpaste totally out. But when you don't use your time, your effort, your gifts wisely, you lose everything you have. It's given to someone else, just like the parable in the Bible. And you shop at the Dollar Tree for toothpaste. Why? Because you're hustling backwards. Cartoon Mark, what's up, brother? Hey, Sam. Friends, love to you, brother. Love to all. Same to you. Took next week off from work. There you go. Gonna clear out the shed. Throw it all out. You're on the right track, Mark. We love you. We love you. We love you. We want the best for you. We respect you. We appreciate you. Thank you, brother. Keep us posted. I will love, if you want, I love to see a video. You just fucking throw that shed right in the street on Big Trash Day. You know, Big Trash Day, when trash trucks come, when they take all your big shit once a month or twice a week. And I want to tell you, throw everything out that isn't coming to Port St. Lucie. And if that shed ain't coming to Port St. Lucie, put it on the curb. If that girl ain't coming to Port St. Lucie, put it on the curb. Okay. Anything that ain't coming to Port St. Lucie, gotta go. You say inspirational nomad, see, now you went too far. Remember, guys and girls, I'm sharing with you an intensity. Remember, you got to get intense. Remember, you got to figure out your own lives. I can only be a spark plug. You get to run your engine and you get to drive how you want. But even if you don't agree with everything, at least I sparked your damn engine. I got you out of your state of delusion. I got you out of your sloth. Okay. I got you out of the strip club. Okay. And now you got to steer your ship. This is Inspirational Nomad. I'm out this mofo.